This episode of the Rocker Dog Podcast is sponsored by Roaming. Roaming is a premium lifestyle brand that features dog products motivated by nature. All of Roaming's high-quality, earth-friendly dog products are made from renewable and natural materials. Their bio-based and 100% compostable plant-based dog poop bags are a great alternative to your standard plastic poop bags and are available for single and subscription orders. They also have some beautiful handmade leather leashes made in the USA, as well as their durable, all-natural, that's no chemicals or dyes, hemp dog pull toys. I've used these bags and they're strong, easy to tear off the roll, easy to pinch open, and leak and odor-proof. Between my dog and volunteering at my local shelter, I pick up a lot of dog poop, and I know what I like in a dog poop bag, and Roaming has it. Trust me, I've had the misfortune of using lesser quality bags and the gross mishaps that come with them. They have a special discount for our listeners and members. Use code ROCKERDOG to get 20% off your first purchase, including 20% off your first 3 orders if you sign up for one of their poop bag subscriptions. Place an order now. You can check them out at roaming.com. That's ROMNG.com. That barking can only signify that you've come to another brand new episode of the Rocker Dog Podcast, the show that talks to musicians about their dogs and the benefit these canine companions bring to their lives. I'm your host, Tim Dill, alongside my faithful assistant, Charlie the Golden Doodle, and today we bring you a great conversation with Zeb Dekofsky, drummer for the band Tribal Seeds, whose new album Ancient Blood is out now and features special guests The Movement, Twinkle Brothers, Holly Cook, and many, many more. And these are his trusted and reliable rocker dogs.
My rocker dogs are Koa, and he's an American Bully, and he's 12 now. And Benji, who is a terrier mix, and he's 9.
Okay.
Both of them are rescues in different situations, but we're all about dog rescuing over here. So so I started a dog rescue at Villalobos, specifically pit bulls, because I've always loved pit bulls, and I just think they've been the most mistreated, abused, overbred breed that there is, as you know. And I used to go to the shelter and try and walk them. Specifically the pit bulls, because there's so many of them in there, and a lot of times they wouldn't even allow you to walk the dogs because they were deemed dangerous, or they hadn't temperament tested them yet, or they always had an excuse why we weren't allowed to take care of the pit bulls. So I found the actual rescue where I could go and take the dogs and try and help them find homes. We do home checks, go there, clean the kennels, take the dogs out, spend time with them. And it kind of got me really into dog rescue. And we had 2 rescues of our own at the time, both pit bulls. And then later on, I got Koa. He was 10 months. I had moved, and I'm living in Redondo Beach now. And there's a rescue called Bullies and Buddies. And I had been fostering dogs for them, puppies, and, kind of like dogs that were like younger that needed no other dogs in the home, because I couldn't have a dog at that time. As a touring musician, it was kind of hard. I wasn't with my wife yet, and all that. So I was like, well, you know what? When I'm off the road, I'll foster dogs. And so I started fostering pit bulls for them. And then one day I get a call, and Jennifer Rosen is who runs the rescue. She's like, hey, we just pulled this dog. He's a bully. He's 10 months old. He's obviously been super abused. I think he was like from a fighting ring or something like that, because he was just scarred up in pretty bad shape. And they got him. I guess they pulled him from the shelter like about 10 minutes before they were going to put him down. They got him to the vet. I came, picked him up, and it was just one of those things where they brought him out, and I was like, man, this is my dog. Like, I had fostered so many, but it's like, you see somebody you fell in love with right away, love at first sight kind of vibe. So that was kind of like me and him. And so now 12 years later, he's still hanging in there and doing good. And I don't have as much time to do any fostering, and we have an apartment. So one day we'll get a house and we want like a ton of dogs and just rescue all of them,
Yeah, I hear you. That's my dream as well.
And then my wife her dog Benji, he was like pretty much abused, living at some guy's house on the patio in a box, basically, on the patio. And she's, friend of a friend kind of thing. She's like, I want to take that dog out of this situation. So she ended up, hey, I will give you money to take this dog off your hands, not that she bought it, but she bought his freedom, basically.
Yeah.
And so he's 9 now. He's a little tough guy. Got hit by a car and lived, and he's pretty rough and tumble,
Now, did Benji and Koa come together as your relationship came together?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
great.
they did. Yeah. So when we met, we started living together. They had as soon as we met, we kind of introduced them, and but my dog Koa was pretty good with other dogs, especially littler dogs. But he's a bully and he's big, and so Benji was scared of him, and at first, you know what I mean. But now they're buddies. Sometimes they'll get into little tussles, but Koa kind of checks him, and then now he runs away. Like at first he tried to fight back, and I was like, dude, what are you doing? Like he's an 80-pound pit bull, and he's like 18-pound little terrier,
He's like, haven't you ever heard it? The size of the fight in the dog?
Which is funny because sometimes I'll see him kind of like snap back at Koa, and like if Koa's not in the mood for that, he'll be like, oh, like he's scared for a minute. I'm like, because he knows he can mess him up.
Yeah. Well, I admire your passion for the dogs. I've pulled a couple of quotes from your social media where in talking about Koa and Benji, you're like, love these guys. In talking with Koa, you said, I love this dude more than I can ever explain. You described this, and I love this one, my favorite person in the world. And I think you chose the word person on purpose because he's more than just a dog.
Yeah. I know some people look at when you say stuff like that and they're like, oh, come on, blah, blah, blah. But I don't see it. Me and my wife don't see it like that. Like, we don't have children. We don't really want to have children. We want dogs. And so that's cool for us. And that's cool for some people too, So I get why people are like, oh, well, they're not actually people. But to us, they are. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no difference, man, to me.
What is it about dogs that you think connects with you? Like, why do you have this, this passion for dogs?
Well, I mean, I think obviously, like for most of us, like we started with our family when we were young. We've always had dogs in my household. My parents loved dogs and always taught us to treat them with love and respect, from when I was like born, basically. So I think obviously that helps, that I've always been around them. But I think just emotionally, like I know for me, I've been in some really bad situations in my life. My dad passing away and, breakups and all kinds of things that you go through in your life. And it's just like, he's just there. He's always there. I always have a dog there that's like, hey, dude, like I love you no matter what. And even if you can't talk to them, sometimes if I have anxiety, sometimes I'll just lay down on my dog and on his chest and listen to him breathe while he's sleeping, you know what I'm saying? And it calms me down. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I think emotionally, like I'm really, really attracted to being around dogs, not just my own dogs, but just dogs in general, which is why I love doing rescue. And you know what I mean? I just love the energy of being around dogs in general over people. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, as a touring musician, you also had a post that said, no matter where you go in the world, you're hanging out and feeding stray dogs.
Always, man. Always. That's funny that you found that too. Because that is true. Because I was touring, I think at the time with a reggae artist, his name is Barrington Levy. He's the pretty famous Jamaican reggae artist. And we would do a lot of international tours and shows, a lot in the Caribbean or South America. And as you know, there's a lot of stray dogs in a lot of these countries that are just roaming the streets. And they're always hungry or they're always thirsty. And literally, as soon as I would get to wherever we were going, I would try and find stray dogs. I would buy food when I got there, and then look for the street for stray dogs. Now, the funny story about that is we went to, I think it was Barbados one time, and there was a Chinese restaurant. I don't know if anybody's been to Barbados, but probably Chinese food in Barbados is probably not the best idea, right? But we didn't know that. So we're like, okay, so open we go, and it was just like the absolute worst food, man. And we're just like, oh, I can't eat. But, first thing me and the guitar player were like, let's go to the beach. There's got to be some stray dogs I want. We'll absolutely eat this, right? So we take it to go. We go to the beach and we find a couple dogs and we're like, hey guys, we brought you this. They took one sniff and they're like, nah, we don't want that. But we tried. But yeah, me and the guitar player, he's a dog lover as well, and we would always do that. We would always try and find, and even now, if I see if I see a stray dog anywhere where I can help him in some way or another, check for a collar, check for a chip, or even if he's just like in some weird town where I don't know anybody or anything, I'll at least get him food and water, like at a gas station or whatever. You know what I mean? I still
Yeah.
do that. Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
are the rest of the band, your Tribal Seeds bandmates? Any dog people in
Yes,
there?
yeah, sure. T-Ray's our musical director and keyboard player. He has two, and they're like kind of little poodle kind of ish dogs. And then our singer Steve has I forget the breed that it is. It's kind of like a Shiba Inu, but it's not a Shiba Inu. His name's Enoch.
Hmm.
And Gonzo, the guitar player, has yeah. Actually, almost everybody has dogs in the band. Now that I think about it. Actually, we did an EP a while back called Roots Party, and it's kind of a cartoon drawing of us, at like a show and this and that. But the dogs are in the drawing. I'll send it to you later. Maybe you could even throw it in as like a little.
Oh yeah, for
So,
sure.
so some of our dogs are like in the album cover. You know what I mean?
That's
Which
awesome.
is cool. Yeah. So the band is all dog lovers for sure. Yeah.
That's great. Now, I always
Yeah.
ask if there's any, do the dogs make it into the art somehow? Do they ever go on tour? Are they ever in studio?
Yeah. Yes, actually. So it's funny. Okay, I have another little story about that. So I did. I'm good friends with the band Slightly Stupid. I'm sure you probably heard of them.
Yep.
And so I've done a lot of recording with the band over at their studio, and they did an album called "Meanwhile Back to the Lab," and me and Kyle kind of co-wrote this ska song and recorded it there at the studio. And my dog Koa was there while we were recording the song behind me on a couch. And I remember he barked like on like a really good take. He's like literally right behind me while I'm recording, and he barked, right. And it was a good take. So after I was done, I was like, dude, Kyle, like Koa just barked, bro. And he's like, I don't give a fuck. He's like, we're leaving that in there. So you will never probably hear it if you listen to the record, but I believe that the bark is in that song. It's called "Hold It Down."
Okay,
And
that's cool.
yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah. And then after that, he proceeded to tear up their vacuum because he hates vacuums. So that's his claim to fame, is that he barked on a Slightly Stupid record and then destroyed their vacuum at the studio.
Now, a typical question I ask is if the dog is on brand with the band, but I want to switch it around and be more asking, is the dog on brand with you? Like, I feel like part of your brand, like with the fans, is Koa well known to the fans?
Yeah, he is actually. I have a flavor out there. The company's called Dad's Elixir, and they have different flavors for different artists. And mine is called Snosberry Pie, kind of like a play on Willy Wonka. But in the artwork is me and Koa.
Yeah.
I'll send you that as well. So a lot of people do know him. I don't bring him to shows really because he's like has anxiety and he just kind of gets to like, what are you dancing for? What are you doing? Like that. So I know better than that to bring a pit bull that has anxiety around that many people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Some guys can bring their dogs to the shows. You see Stick Figure as Coco and some of the other bands bring their dogs with them on tour. I don't know if I would ever do that because it's a lot to have your dog on a tour bus with like all these people. We have 13 or 14 guys on the bus. It's like I can't bring an 80-pound pit bull. I wish, but what I mean? Like.
Yeah.
I think he is on brand with me, though. I think a lot of people know me. I have a really big tattoo of him on my leg. It's in a lot of pictures and stuff like that. So I think people do know, like, and they ask me at show, how's Koa doing? And, how's Benji doing? I think it's cool with our reggae scene here is that, like, there's a lot of dog lovers in the scene. And so, like, people actually care about, I remember I did a GoFundMe for him when he got sick. He has a liver disease. He had to go in for like biopsies and whatnot. And I did a GoFundMe and like all of our fans just came through, man. And literally in one day, they made me enough money to pay for like most of the surgery. And I was just like so grateful, man. Like it really showed me how much people actually care about us and our dogs and our children if you have them, but especially our animals,
Yeah.
It's really beautiful to see it.
That's great. I wanted to ask you about that. That was back in spring of 2021 in the midst of COVID. You're not making money.
Yeah.
So the community really steps up, and does something great.
You hit it on the head. That's exactly what it was. It was like, hey, this is going to be at least $8,000 for you right now. We hadn't worked like forever, as touring musicians, COVID was like the roughest time for a lot of us. Yeah, I was really like in dire straits a little bit because, I didn't want the worst. And I didn't know if I didn't get in the surgery, is it going to get worse? And he's getting old and like, I'm freaking out. Like, but I'm like, whatever I got to do, I'm going to find a way to make this happen and get him what he needs. And it actually like, thank God, like they found what was wrong and they got him on the right stuff and whatnot. So he's actually doing really well now. Like I'm really, really, really happy that he's still here, obviously, you know.
Yeah, I mean, it's great. 12 years old. He's still, it looks like he's
12 years
going
old.
strong.
Yeah, and he's still got he's a puppy energy sometimes, you know what I mean? He's not like an old man yet, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I still, I just I take every day I can get with him, and Benji both,
Yeah.
Any day is a good day.
Yeah, for sure. Now, I noticed, I don't know how far back this goes, but you took them camping once, and I'm curious, are they good in the outdoors? Do they enjoy it, or
Dude,
were they
it's
kind
so
of
funny.
a
I love how
liability?
I love how you did your research on me. That's awesome because yeah, we did take them camping one time with the singer for the band Hyrie. Her name is Trish, and she's a good friend of ours. And she has really cool little golden doodle or
Oh yeah.
labradoodle. I think it's a golden doodle that she actually takes on tour with her. And he's a really good boy. And then we bring our dogs, and they were just an absolute nightmare. And they bark at every sound. We're in the tent at 4 a.m. They're just loud barking all night, all morning, rolling in the dirt, like just being just absolute, like just menaces. And we were like, that is the last time we're going camp. Anytime, honestly, we can barely take them anywhere, like on vacations, because they're just like, oh no, dude. They're kind of unruly. Like they're not bad boys. They just are bad sometimes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. I love it. I love
So
it.
kind of pick and choose where we can take them. And okay, like is there going to be a lot of people around at night if they bark all the time or whatever?
Yeah. Now, you mentioned the tattoo. Did you get that at a certain time when, he was going through a health crisis, or just you got it when the timing was, just
I
happened to
got
be
it.
good?
Yeah, I got it. I got it. No, I got it before any of that because I know a lot of people wait till the dog passes away to get tattoos in them, and I was like, nah, I wanted to see it.
Yeah.
I wanted to see it. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, buddy, this you right here. I love you. You know what I mean? That's exactly why I did it. So I didn't want to wait till I was sad. I wanted it to be a happy memory rather than like a rest in peace to my
Yeah.
baby. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yep,
If
for
that makes
sure.
sense. Yeah.
Now, we did talk about pitties and how they're unjustly judged. Do you see that just every day on the street, just walking them or taking them wherever you take them?
You do, and I thought a lot when I was over at the rescue as well, because a lot of times we take them into town, and they can't just only go from the kennel for a little walk around the ranch and then back to the kennel. We wanted to get them acquainted with people and
Yeah.
cars and all those things. So you'd see just a lot of people would immediately cross the street. I hate to say it, a lot of older people would kind of look at you with this like scared, like, oh, there's this guy
Yeah.
with tattoos with a pit bull. And you know what I mean? That whole, even though these are sweet dogs, we only took the ones obviously that have the best temperaments out and about, so they could actually meet kids
Yeah.
and other people and stuff. But yeah, dude, you see it a lot, bro. Like even now with Koa, like people will kind of like definitely skirt around him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think a lot of that, it sucks too, because some of that has made him a little more over the years than he used to be. Like, but now if they do that, then he's like, they'll start pulling towards him. Like, hey, why are you running away from me? You know what I mean? He wasn't always like that,
Yeah.
But, it sucks because they're going to judge the breed. I think if you have any kind of Rottweiler or even a Doberman or Pit Bull, obviously, like people are immediately like stereotype your
Yeah.
dog immediately.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's a shame because if they only knew. I mean, I know, like you're saying, you do your volunteer work, and I do volunteer work too, and it is predominantly pit bulls, and they're just the sweetest breed. They
They
really
are. They're
are.
great. They're all great. And, obviously, like some dogs are going to be inbred. And
Yeah,
sometimes you can't train some of that out of certain dogs. And we know that, you know what I'm saying? But you just do the best you can with all of them, you know what I'm saying? And, within rescue, you save one, you save all of them, and you just keep going. Okay, I'm going to save another one now. I'm going to get another home for this one, And that's all you can do.
yeah,
So, it's just sad. It's just sad to see. Now people are overbreeding Frenchies because the money's there.
yeah,
Back in the day, they were overbreeding pit bulls for fighting, basically. I don't know how predominant that is in America anymore. I'm sure it still exists a lot, but
yeah,
I think that's diminished now. It's more like a money thing. Like, okay, I could breed French bulldogs and I can get $5,000, and they're just going to overbreed the hell out of French bulldogs, which as a rescuer, I don't like. I
yeah,
think dog breeding should be for working dogs mostly. That's kind of my thing with breeding. You know what I mean? Hey, if you need it for working dogs, for sure. You know what I'm saying? But for family pets, let's save the ones that are out there first before we keep overbreeding them. You know what I mean?
yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, on social media, I see every day in every corner of the United States, everyone's at capacity. I mean, all the shelters are at capacity.
It's crazy.
And it's they just need to stop. They need to do something about if you're not a serious breeder, and you're just looking for a quick buck or you're a backyard, they really got to crack down on that. And I know it's a resource thing, and they don't have resources to crack down on that, but it's a shame.
It is really a shame, man. I hate it. I hate to see it. You know what I mean? And you're right. And if you know as well as I do that all the overbred dogs are just the ones that are like so in the shelter. There's so many like pit bulls now. I don't know about Frenchies now because people are actually buying them, but I know Chihuahuas are overbred too. And I haven't been to a shelter for a minute. I know there's a ton of Chihuahuas in there now. So it's just like, stop, dude. Like let's rescue, let's save the ones that are there. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's the way I look at it.
Well, let's end the podcast on a high note. I end it with the zoomies, and these are 5 quick questions, mostly
I like
frivolous.
That, the zoomies.
But question 1 is, do you kiss your beautiful dogs on the mouth?
So I am guilty sometimes.
Okay,
mostly on the eye, but it's been known to happen. Yes.
Okay. Speaking of Koa and Benji, do either one of those two have a theme song? Like if they had walk-up music to the plate, do they have anything that they would for sure play?
Oh man, Benji would definitely be like, I feel like something chaotic. They have to think about what's the most, like a polka maybe or something for him. Oh, it would definitely be like 90s hip hop, like, you know what I'm saying? Like a Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre type of thing. I feel like that would be kind of his theme music, yeah.
Okay, all right. Question 3 is, they went on tour with you, what would they want on their rider?
Oh, wow. Snacks, more snacks. Benji would like any kind of toy. Koa rips up toys, but he'll take some of those too. Tennis balls, they do like tennis balls, and maybe Kong with peanut butter.
Are they food motivated, both of them?
They are food motivated, yeah. So it would definitely be mostly food. And a nice bed, because they like comfy beds. They do love comfy beds.
Do they ever sleep with you?
They do. They sleep in bed with us.
Are they allowed on the bed?
They're allowed anywhere they want to go.
Okay, good to hear.
They sure
not that I'm promoting that as a widespread practice, but I personally like that. I like the dog.
I love sleeping with my dogs, man. It makes me feel comfortable,
Yeah.
But me and my wife love it. Yeah, 100%.
Question 4 is, do you have a dog voice?
Oh, yeah. It's super like, oh, I didn't know that. He's really high and really like total baby talk. Me and my wife do it all the time. And I'm like, I'm glad my friends can't see me talking to my dogs. They'd be like, dude, what the We have songs too. Going out, dogs gotta go outside. They really gotta go. We sing songs, and we're kind of ridiculous, but we love them.
You're A+ dog parents to me.
Yeah.
The flip side of that question was, do you ever give them a voice? Do you ever impersonate what they would sound like?
Sometimes, yeah. Koa's definitely got a low kind of, and then Benji would definitely like, hey, what are you doing? Like a really high. Yeah. They're like the total opposite of each other. Yeah.
Okay. And then last but not least, I think I know your answer, but is there a dog organization or service you'd like to give a shout out to?
Yeah, sure. I'd like to shout out Bullies and Buddies Rescue in Redondo Beach. Jennifer Rosen and the whole volunteer team are great people. They've been doing a lot of good work here in the South Bay for a long time. So if you're ever in our neck of the woods and you want to rescue or adopt or even foster a dog, hit up Bullies and Buddies Rescue. That'd be awesome. Or donate, whatever you can do,
Yeah, awesome. Or volunteer. Volunteer is a huge thing.
Volunteer. Anything you can help. Yeah.
Yeah. Excellent. Well, Ancient Blood recently came out as we're recording this, but as this will air, we're going to be towards the end of the summer. So what's the band got going on for the rest of the summer and the year?
So yeah, we're promoting our record. It's called Ancient Blood. There's a lot of great, amazing features on it. And towards the end of the summer, we do have some more festival dates. For them, just go on our website, travelseeds.net, or follow us on Instagram @travelseeds. All our tour dates usually come up. And then we're just going to be, promoting the record. And we're trying to hit hard to try and get that Grammy nom this year if we can. You never know, you know what I mean?
Nice.
So we're actively trying to just really get this record out because we think it's a pretty amazing record, and the response has been awesome so far. So
great.
Pretty excited about it, yeah.
Great to hear. Well, Zeb, you're an amazing dog dad from what I see on social media and speaking to you. So I appreciate you coming on the show and spreading the good word.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate you, man. Keep doing what you're doing, bro. You guys are the best.
Thank you.
All right, later.